to the Love Dirt YouTube channel. It is now spring here in southeast Queensland. It's a little bit overcast today, but I wanted to do a tour around what we've got going on in our garden this time of year. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so our main garden area out the back here, we've just built this new raised bed here. So what I've got planted out in here is some lettuce, capsicums and eggplant. I've also got a zucchini up the back. These two beds, I'm not planting anything new. This is still stuff going from winter and autumn, because we're going to make another one of these beds here shortly. We haven't decided where we're going to put these birdies beds yet, once we make that new wooden bed, but we are definitely going to keep them because they're really good. Further out the back here, we've got our lettuce beds and our cucumbers. So we've built this trellis to get our cucumbers to train up and protect the lettuce. We've also got some radish and pak choys, and I'm just succession planting so you can sort of see the stages. I want to make sure that we've got loads of lettuce. So I'm planting pretty much every week a new row of lettuce, because we eat a lot over summer. We've also got some stray kohlrabi in there and some flowers around. Behind here we've got some eggplant from last year, so it's only just sort of kicking into gear. So over there we've also got our onions, a few leeks, and then our broccoli that I am saving for seed. Whether or not it will be for sprouting or not, I don't know. I will do some tests on it just see grow it first, but it's loaded with flowers and bees and lots of seed pods. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one grows. With broccoli, I know that you need like a 5-kilometer radius. There's a good chance that not many people are letting broccoli go to seed in that 5 kilometers, and that's really the distance a bee will travel. So we'll see if we get some cross-pollination. This one is Chiquio, I think that's how you say it. So it's an heirloom variety, it's not a hybrid. So we'll see how we go. In my little back corner, so this is one of my perennial beds that I just randomly plant some annuals in if there's space. So in the back corner I've got my Madagascar climbing bean, I've got some mustard, the new asparagus ferns are doing their thing, sucking in the energy so they grow bigger. Also got another Madagascar bean coming up here. I want this wall to be covered come summer because it's just such a hot, dry area. So I've got a few other little bits and pieces in here. This is a really nice salvia that I got from Basil Lee Herbs. Don't know what it's called, can't tell you, but the birds actually really love it. They come, it's actually been snapped a few times. They come and they sit on the fence and they suck out of the little tube flowers. So yeah, it's a nice one to have. We've got tomatoes in pots, so we've got a green zebra and a Scorpio here. My pink Thai egg is just finishing up. It's been severely affected by powdery mildew. I've tried to keep on top of it but didn't get a handle of it, but you know, it's still producing. So it's got a lot of fruit there that is just ripening up now. And then we've got another cherry tomato. I'm not sure which one this was. It was in the mixed bag that I had. So in this spot, I haven't set up these tomatoes yet. Normally I string them up to the fence because we're going to build a new raised bed here for our raspberries. But our issue is these roots. So they're all coming up into our raised beds. I've tried using geofabric. It's kind of stopped them for a little bit, but it doesn't last that long. And it comes from that tree there. So it's in a park. We can't really do anything about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try this bed here as a wicking bed, see how it goes. If it's fine, we'll roll it out across all of our raised beds out here, except probably our flower bed in the middle. So also prepping for fruit fly here. So this is one of my crims, which is in amongst my passion fruit, climbing up and up. But we use these exclusion bags as well as some protein baits around. So I know last year from my Instagram we had fruit flies stinging at around the 25th of September. So we're only about a week off that time, so it's time now to sort of really start thinking, particularly with the big tomatoes. This will be my last lot of big tomatoes until autumn next year. So exclusion nets, protein baits, lure traps, they're all the strategies that we use to control them organically. And it seems to work relatively well. From now, these are the last ones. As I said, these are the last ones that we will grow as big tomatoes. The rest we do cherry tomatoes, and they seem to do all right against fruit fly. I think they grow too quick for them to be able to hatch, so we're probably eating the eggs, which is kind of gross, but but that's our strategy anyway. So in our veg pod we have got fennel, which is bulbing up nicely. I've got a run of beans going here, which I'll succession plant another row in a couple of weeks. On the other side I've got some beetroots going. So you can kind of see there's some issues with my soil here, because these ones are doing really well and these ones are pretty crap. So I'm still trying to work out if I like the veg pod for growing food. We'll see how it goes. It did really well with the fennel though. There was major issues with aphids in here, like they were in epidemic proportions. So I did have to buy in some bugs and try a whole heap of different strategies. I've got a video up on that, which I'll link to below, on all of the strategies I do around the garden normally, but because they have the nets on them, some of those strategies just don't work. So hopefully we'll get some beets soon, but I need to sort out what's wrong with this section. So you can see that they're supposed to be wicking, but they're not really. But that sort of section is one pod and that's another. So there's something going on with here, whether it's the drainage or whether just maybe I'm not watering it enough or too much. So the passion fruit's just kicking back into gear along the chicken run. We're gonna be replacing all of this and fully enclosing it. The mulberry's going to get a really trimmed down, so it fits in. The wild birds are just bringing in nasties for the chickens. So there's some of the girls. One's missing, she must be laying an egg. So that's our chicken run. So along here, our jasmine's just about to flower, so that's the edible one, the one that they use for flavoring teas and rice and things like that. And the aquaponic jungle. So you see we've got some strawberries happening. There's a tiny broccoli head. I don't think that's going to do much. It was a bit late. Massive celery. Celery does really well in the aquaponics. We're just starting to see the black aphids that usually come in every September on our spring onions. I'll see if I can get over there in a second, but you can kind of see those spring onions there. They're looking a bit sad. They're being affected already. So we've got all sorts of stuff in here. I'm not really managing this very well at the moment, simply because we're doing a rejig in a couple of months. We're fully going to pull everything out and start again, and hopefully add another 2 grow beds to the 2 tanks. The fish are going really well, so we should be able to eat them soon. But yeah, definitely don't recommend putting this stuff in an aquaponics. The Vietnamese mint, that takes over, so does normal mint. And I chucked it in there to basically propagate some cuttings and forgotten about it, and I need to deal with it. But we're picking lots of things out of here, but it is just a little bit out of control. So the front mandala garden, so this garden here gets the most amount of sun. It's looking very dry. So we've just harvested our garlic from this bed, and I put in some zucchinis. I've also planted some peanuts, but I'm not sure if they're actually going to grow. Over here we've just pulled out our potatoes. In here I'm going to do corn, so I'll be planting those soon. I don't normally grow sweet corn in spring because it's notoriously dry, but there's predicted to be a bit of rain on our way for this spring, so I'm gonna give it a shot. I start with sweet corn, and then towards the end of the season, that's when I plant all of my popping corns, just because I like to have the sweet corn early. So over here we've just got our cherry tomatoes, some of the butterhead lettuce, looks so cool. Finishing up pink Thai egg there. And over here some more carrots and Swiss chard. This bed has actually got nematodes in it, and I thought, because I had a whole heap of Swiss chard along here, and I thought that I'd overplanted, so I pulled one out and I noticed that it was just covered in those knots that they get. So I'm treating this area with some mycorrhizae, micro gold, and some molasses, and trying to get the beneficial bacteria happening to get control of it, see if it works. Another broccoli going to seed, same varieties out the back, and then also the rocket. And the little bush bees absolutely love, there's none here at the moment because it's a bit cloudy, but they love the rocket flowers. So I don't need any seeds of rocket, but I'm just letting it go because the bees love it. So on the other side, we've still left our rosellas, but it's time for them to come out. I've left them there. I knew that they weren't going to do anything when it got to a certain point over winter, but I've left them there as more of a windbreak. So I'll start cutting them down probably this weekend. So we've got 3 beds along here, which it's full clay. We've used icons, we've put lots of compost in. It's still a work in progress, but we've got some beets and carrots going here. It's still pretty rock solid, but a bit of time will tell. We've got some cherry tomatoes going there, and the daikon flower pods. So that's looking pretty cool. The tomatoes here are almost finished. I'll put pumpkins in there probably this weekend. They've been getting eaten by birds. So here we've got our wicking bed. It's doing all right. Got lots of calendula flowers. We've got the kale does really well. Some varieties of chilies do well. Strawberries are doing well, but I have a feeling that this is disease. I think I might have posted this in the last update. Swiss chard is doing all right, but it's starting to get that crispy, which I believe is a mite. It's either a mite or a deficiency of some kind. And more kale, and yeah, but the strawberries, quite happy in here. I think it's dropped again, so we need to top it up. But otherwise, considering I water it maybe once every 2 weeks, it's doing pretty well. So the back garden, I don't normally film from this way, but it's still getting the life sucked out of it from those trees up there. I haven't really been watering it. The bean teepee looks a little bit sad at the moment, but we do have Madagascar climbing beans happening, so I'm hoping. We've just laid out our hose link weeper hose, and we're gonna sort of gear up with water here. Hopefully the rains will come, but it's just so dry here. Like the things that we've planted probably don't really suit a dry spot. Obviously with the banana and the pawpaw, they need lots of water. I'm trying to convince my husband to get grey water from our bathroom sink out here, but that's another story. But really things are looking okay considering that it hasn't gotten much water. So our other addition here is this vertical wall garden. Our plans for this fence, which is our western fence, we look out to this fence from our dining room, and it's been bugging me for ages. We wanted to put a grapevine along here, but we've got to sort out some stormwater, so this is our solution for now. So I've just got some pots of herbs in here. This system has been really good. I've probably only watered it once every week and a half. In the past with vertical gardens, I've just found that they dry out too quick. The pots are too small, so these ones are a really good size, and I'm quite happy with them. The plan is to sort of maybe put some more along here until we can get the stormwater sorted and eventually a grapevine, and then we can move these to wherever we want around the other side of the garden. So yeah, that's our new little project. So we've just got in here strawberries and all sorts of herbs, and it's been really good because it's right near the kitchen, so I can just duck out really quickly. I don't have to walk all the way around the other side of the house, not that it's that far anyway, but it's good to just be able to duck out and grab whatever I need. I hope you found that helpful. Please like this video if you enjoyed, and also subscribe to our channel to make sure that you get future updates. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.